reports are going to create a psychological phenomenon that is referred to as cognitive dissonance, which is where what you are seeing and perceiving is a conflict with what your brain tells you you ought to be seeing and perceiving. Now, cognitive dissonance ultimately is what pushes things along the hype cycle and gets us to the plateau of productivity. But in the short run, cognitive dissonance tends to be a fairly uncomfortable experience for the person who's having it. And since this is going to be management, that might trickle down onto the testers. So it's important that you be aware of these expectations, and that you look for overhyped expectations and help people manage those in a way that is productive, not counterproductive. Okay. So with those challenges in mind, a few conclusions before I open it up to Q&A. Good testing strategies will support the goals of Agile methodologies. It is possible, to quote Rodney King, for us to all get along, Agilists and testers, and we can be productive in Agile worlds. Risk-based testing will support increased quality, increased productivity, and flexibility. It aligns well with the Agile Manifesto. Certainly maintainable automated regression tests that complement the maintainable automated unit tests can help to contain the regression risks that are associated with the Agile methodologies, and allowing some significant proportion of reactive testing, say 20% of the test execution effort, will allow the testers to explore various high-risk areas that you might have missed in your risk analysis and that the automated regression testing might miss. So it creates a self-correcting element of it that's very important given the dynamism of what's going on. But by itself, good test strategies will not resolve the Agile testing challenges, because the life cycle is a environment in which the testers live, if you will. And also, this issue of the inflated expectations is going to create some challenges to us to communicate effectively about what's going on with these challenges. Now, back in 2002, when I wrote the second edition of Managing the Testing Process, commenting about Agile life cycles, I said the onus is on us as professional testers to help develop a proper role for systematic but lightweight test processes and adapt the best practices of testing within the context of Agile methods. Hopefully this will happen before the end of this decade. Well, speaking of putting 10 pounds in a 5-pound bucket, I think I probably put 20 years of progress in a 10-year bucket, even 8-year bucket in that case. We do still have a fair amount of work to do. It's always hard to properly conceive of how much time and effort are really required for organizations to change the way they do things. And we will, I think, see some resolution of issues as they go forward, but it is going to take some work. And certainly our company, RBCS, we're happy to remain engaged in that work. As I've said in previous presentation of this talk, if 10 years from now everybody is doing Agile, RBCS will still be in business and making money. And if 10 years from now nobody is doing Agile, RBCS will still be in business and making money. We've been around for 15 years now. This is our second recession, and I'm pretty confident that we'll be around to see a third recession as well. And we don't really have a dog in this fight, I guess, is my main point. The dog that we have in the fight, if you will, is that we want to see effective, efficient testing done by people who are motivated, happy, and professional. And to the extent that we can figure out a way, we collectively, testers and Agile advocates together, to make that happen within the context of Agile methodologies, I'm thrilled with that and committed to help clients work towards that. But I'm also want to be honest and realistic about what that's going to take and what the challenges are, and hope that those of you who have heard this talk will go forward with that outlook, that if we figure out how to work together to resolve these challenges, we can. If on either side of the relationship, the test side, we say that the challenges are irresolvable and we should just go back to waterfall because Agile doesn't work, or on the Agile side of the relationship, we say those professional testers are an impediment to getting Agile going, so we need to get rid of the professional testers, that kind of adversarial approach will not work. So I think the main thing here is that we remain engaged as a professional testing community with the advocates of Agile methodologies and looking for ways to resolve these challenges. Okay, well, that concludes the presentation. I'll leave the little RBCS advertisement up here for you to look at while we go through and do a little Q&A. Now, if you have questions, please go ahead and submit them via the chat mechanism. You should be able to do that either via chat or actually the questions box is probably the best one, so go ahead and put them there. This first question is one that I got via email prior to this webinar. I want to bring this up because this is important. The question was, is the point of this presentation that Agile is inherently inferior to the V model or other variants of the waterfall, and that if we just practice those waterfall style models properly, we wouldn't have any testing challenges? Now, I have three answers to this. Now, first, I don't think that anyone, even the people who originally described the waterfall back in the 1970s, meant that the waterfall model or any other software development lifecycle model is going to solve all the challenges of software engineering, including testing challenges. I think it's fair to say that a good process is only part of what's required to do software engineering properly. We need to keep that in mind. Now, second, I can't say that we, RBCS, have heard of or seen a lot of our clients or companies that actually practice the V model, at least to the all degrees of detail. And you have to keep in mind that the V model implies a large number of things. Early involvement of the test teams and an approach that's designed to detect and remove defects early in the process, engagement during requirements and design reviews, any number of very intricate things are involved in actually doing the V model, and some organizations do it, but many don't. So it's hard to really contrast the ideal Agile world versus the ideal V model world because we've never seen either of them. Now, third, even for our clients that do practice the V model well, and there are some. I mean, I say that I've never seen anyone do it perfectly. It's not to say that we don't see some do it well, but even the ones that do it very well certainly don't avoid all testing challenges. And they often mention a number of testing challenges to us during consulting work and training work that have been brought up in this webinar to a greater or lesser extent, and in some cases they have other challenges that come up for them. So, in reality, I could probably just as easily do a webinar called Waterfall and V Model Testing Challenges, and it would probably sound about as skeptical as I might have sounded to many of you today in talking about Agile. And again, as a professional tester, I'm a professional pessimist and professional skeptic. Now, the quality expert W.E. Deming once said that all models are wrong and some are useful. And to get back to what I was saying at the beginning, to the extent that a software development lifecycle model helps a team organize itself and its activities for success, then I think we can say it's a useful model. But to the extent that people misunderstand or misapply a model, or to the extent that people make a fetish of the model and disregard of practical realities of their project, then I think the elements